You're watching TVC Breakfast. From December 2020 to date, there have been at least school kidnappings in Nigeria's north and parts of the country in numbers that we can't count. Armed groups have repeatedly attacked schools and universities, abducting students for ransom. And in the latest string of kidnappings is the Salihu Tanko Islamic School in Niger State, where more than 150 students are said to be missing or unaccounted for. In all of these, how can the security infrastructure in schools be improved? This is part of what we'll be talking about. And I have with me in the studio the Vice Chancellor of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Professor Itokbe Ogunbodede, is in the studio to help us make sense of all of this. Professor, good morning.
Good morning.
I like your surname, Ogunbodede.
Yes.
Did I pronounce it right? What does it mean?
That's it's like the Ogun is the god of iron.
Okay.
And so it's like the god of iron actually brought hunting or came with hunting, because without iron you won't have
you won't be able to hunt.
Yeah,
that's amazing. All right, thank you. Welcome to the studio. Now, I believe you've been following developments across the country where institutions of learning, from secondary school to tertiary institutions, at different points are being attacked, where students are being abducted. Some lecturers, teachers, paid supreme price trying to protect their students and so on. How troubling is this for you when you hear all of these?
I must tell you that we're all terribly worried and we're all concerned, because this is a country, where you could go anywhere at any time. Even as kids, we were all quite safe, but suddenly now you come into a point where those areas that were regarded as highly sacred, they're coming under attacks now. So we're all very much worried. And we believe that it's a phase, that will go away, but there are certain things that we must do. And there are issues, that we have to be resolved, because security is for everybody. People tend to think that security is for the police, the DSS, and no, security is for each and every one of us. And you must make the easier, the better choices, the easier choice, for people. And so we believe that there are issues, around what we're witnessing now. But we must, each of us must take care of our own ends. We can't say that, government must do everything. Yes, government must do everything, but we must take care of our own. We have to take our own part. Yes. Now, it is said that human capital is the most valuable asset of any organization, or even any country for that matter. And in the place where that human capital is, where it is developed, is molded, because the schools are the institutions that mold human capital into whatever they have to become, and all of that. When we have attacks and kidnappings of this kind, especially in Nigeria, where we have the highest number of out-of-school children, what implications or scenarios are you seeing going forward if we have this kind of trends like this? One, the production is reduced because there are things that you really want to do, and you believe that if you are not safe, you rather keep to your own location. You don't want to travel. And academics, for example, cannot thrive without interaction with colleagues within and outside, the country. And so if you can't move, from where you are quite limited. And also the major implication of some of the things that we are witnessing now is that it's becoming very difficult to invite international colleagues. Personally, I used to have quite a number of research associates, that will come from all over the world, US, UK. The founding fathers really were quite visionary, in their approach in designing, that particular university. And so it's not a university where you just walk in and do whatever, it's like 3 kilometers to the main gate, of the university. But so before whatever is approaching, you have a foreknowledge of what's going on, what could happen, and then you prepare yourself. And then you can prepare yourself. But aside from that, it's a university that is fully residential. You know, you have the students' hostels there, you have the junior staff quarters, you have the senior staff quarters, you have 2 primary schools on campus, you have 2 secondary schools on campus, we have our own dam, we're trying to generate our own electricity now.
Wow.
So it's like, you know, it's
a
like
community of its own.
A community of its own. And we also, you know, use this terminology in OAU that we are a uni-family. So,
wow.
And security starts from that point. So if you know your neighbor and your neighbor knows you, and then you understand if there's a stranger, you know, that is just coming around or somebody that you don't know, you can easily recognize and say.
But how do you inculcate this on, because students come, students go. In fact, sometimes staff come, staff also go. So how do you inculcate this in people who are coming to imbibe this and then own it?
Okay, you know, that's what makes the university different. You know, for example, you have quite a number of activities, social activities, educational, you know, you have the staff club, you have different kinds of student clubs and organizations. So when you have the product of the university, for example, it's not the academic content, you know, that is given to that individual. It is that interaction that goes on within the campus. So
it makes you a wholesome person, just a complete human being.
A complete human being. And that is what we have tried to keep, you know, over the years.
Okay.
And I also want to emphasize this fact that when you have campuses, they also must try to work with the security agencies.
Okay. We'll come back to this, Professor. We have the Vice Chancellor of the University of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, with me here in the studio. We're talking about education generally, and we'll talk more. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back with more on the program. Stay with us.
Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow!
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Helen Paul!
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergents and bleach.
Wow!
You're watching TVC Breakfast. On this segment, we're looking at education generally, and I have with me in the studio the Vice Chancellor of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Professor Itokbe Ogunbodede. We've been talking about this all the while. Now, Professor, University OAU Ile-Ife is about 60 years now?
Yes.
Talk to us, basically. How has it been 60 years? Because we remember so many years ago, OAU, even I think up until now, OAU stands amongst one of the tallest universities in West Africa, if it's not Africa.
Well, let me say that it's not by accident. So that was, it was actually intentional. It was the vision of the founding fathers to have a university that is actually anchored on the concept of 3 A's. That this university must excel in terms of academics, the university must excel in terms of aesthetics, and the university must excel in terms of agriculture.
Wow.
So in terms of academics, they went and looked at the curricula, you know, of most of the universities in Africa at that time, and they decided that they will inculcate some innovative ideas into what was actually going on. So while most other institutions were talking about engineering at that time, OAU, actually went for technology. So that's why, you have a faculty of technology.
Okay.
And even at that time, the university also established what was then referred to as the Technology Production and Development Unit, which was the first in Africa. In fact, I think it's probably the second, in the whole world,
Wow.
as at that time.
Wow.
And so in terms of aesthetics, they decided to have a university, that will be the most beautiful, in Africa. And they went for Ariel Sharon. Ariel Sharon is the architect that designed the state of Israel. He led the group of architects that designed the state of Israel. So he schooled at the Bauhaus, School of Architecture, which is one of the best in the world in Germany. So, so he was brought to Nigeria. He looked at the entire terrain and decided, and designed, most of the buildings that we have there today. So now the university is being approached, to document, some of the things that we have there, so that those buildings can become a World Heritage Center. And we're doing that, right now.
Amazing.
So it's not only in West Africa.
Wow.
And so when you approach the university, you see that, it's one of the best designed, anywhere. I've been to several universities in all the continents, but I've never seen a university that is that, unique in its design.
Congratulations on that. The 60th anniversary, I understand, is coming up anytime soon. Talk to us basically what, if you stand from where you are now and you look back 60 years, what is there that you are celebrating apart from what you've told us about the designs of the school?
Okay. The university was officially inaugurated on the 8th of June, 1961. And the late Chief F.R.A. Williams, was actually the first chairman of council of that university. So when you look back, over the last 60 years, you find that that university, has actually produced, quite a number of people that are influencing things all over the world. So that's worth celebrating. So you look at the law profession in Nigeria, for example, I can tell you that at any level, whether it's the Supreme Court or Appeal Court or something, you will find products of Obafemi Awolowo University. In fact, over a third of the senior advocates of Nigeria are actually products of Obafemi Awolowo University. You look at the economic space, you find that the African Development Bank, the president is an alumnus, the Afro-Exim Bank, the president is an alumnus, the banks within the country, so you find that they are there. You look at the medical profession, you find that products of OAU are making waves there. You look at the the pharmaceutical industry in Nigeria. So the people you find there at the very top are actually products. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that all over, currently, we have 13 faculties, in the university, 2 colleges and 13 faculties, and 94, programs. And each of those programs are actually doing so well. So, but we want to do better than that. We want to reposition the university, for better exploits and for better contribution to national and international development. And that is the essence of this 60th anniversary.
Great. So what will be the unique, when it comes to the celebration and the symbolic or significance of whatever you're going to do on the day of the anniversary celebration, what would all of that activity be? What would it look like?
So what we're doing now is on Sunday, the 6th of June, so we have a Sunday service, to thank God, for what God has done. On the 8th of June, so we will have a press conference, and then we also have, interaction, within the university. Okay. And then on the 9th, on the 9th, which is Wednesday, so we will have a novelty match.
So it's like a week-long activity?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and then on the 8th, we are also going to unveil, the anniversary logo.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
then
amazing.
we have a symposium where people will make contributions. But the celebration is going to be all through the year.
All through the year?
Yes. So
Wow.
it's going to end with our convocation in December.
So
So each
we'll
of the faculties and colleges will have the opportunity of showcasing their achievements,
nice.
over the last 60 years, and then projections into the future.
Amazing. So can we come around
You are
to
all
enjoy
invited.
ourselves
You are very much invited. Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the issue of revenue generation. We know that when it comes to budgetary allocation from the government, we know what the story is over the years. And there has been a call for universities to try to be a little bit independent as a way of generating revenues to, carry out some of the things, research and other things within the community. What is OAU doing in that regard?
Okay, yes, I mean, it's if a university is 60 years old, you expect that ordinarily that university should have been very close to independence, So if not totally independent in terms of income generation. Yeah. But, in Nigeria, the major funding actually comes from the federal government for federal government institutions. But what we're doing in OAU now is to try to commercialize our patents, because our researchers have been coming up with quite innovative patents. For example, researchers in OAU have recently developed what we call the TB sweat test, where instead of all the sophisticated, investigations and everything, just from the sweat of the individual, you can diagnose whether the individual has tuberculosis or not. And that was developed at IFE there. So we've also been able to develop what can actually help, people with sickle cell anemia. And that's from local herbs, which